Yeah, one of these women meeting, sisters meeting, it's it encapsulates both the married and the singles. And we were discussing, was it Sarah now and Abraham, trying to learn the lessons from them. And we were I think it was submission versus, I don't know, it was just trying to learn from the women of faith, what we can learn from them. We've discussed Miriam Mata, we've discussed Ruth, Esther, but I guess we're just on Sarah and some other women. But what came to my mind that day basically was, I don't know where it came from, we're contributing, and what came to my mind was major. Looking at the Hall of Fame, Hall of Faith, Hebrews 11 is can be a replica of what we copied that from Hall of Fame, list of people that have impacted, and you get so. And some were not even mentioned in Hebrews 11. They were just anonymously anonymously just mentioned, like, and those that did not even get their promise answered. They didn't get their promises given to them. They were not able to get their answers, yet they believe against hope. They hoped against hope, and they were just okay, focusing on just entering heaven, not necessarily overwhelmed or not necessarily um desperate to that extent of they must get their answers. Some did not get their answers, but they looked unto God and they still walked by faith. And those were the biggest hall of faith for us. And you get so, but what captured my mind, what opened up to me, was the fact that Eve made a mistake, and it it is costing a generation. Is it even a generation or the world as at large? Sarah too made a mistake. It is still costing us. Most of these women of faith that we praise, we tend to name ourselves after, we tend to admonish younger women to emulate and all that. We need to understand that they all made grievous, crazy mistakes that is still costing the world. He had the fruits and God sent us out. And there was, God divided the punishment accordingly to each and every participant of the act. Sarah, we all like to say that Abraham too was thinking about it. Why did he build? Blah blah blah. Everybody is trying to look for something to bring out as points. But the my own context that I'm trying to deal with now is every woman of faith that were even mentioned categorically. Most, if not all, made some crazy mistakes that is costing generations. As it was, so it is, and it will come. Like, that is what it's looking like now. But God did not separate them. That is where I'm going. God did not separate them. Women are, I'm not saying it is meant to be accepted that way. I'm not saying that we cannot do better. I'm not saying that that is how it should be. But what I'm saying is, one way or the other, one time or two times, that is all. And thank God we were not able enough to record it, to record those mistakes. They costed human being. It cost us. And God did not, because of that, separate them. So where are we learning the method or the wisdom of separating families? And the annoying thing, yes, the perplexing thing is, you will separate them, but you don't send them away. Let me elaborate. You separate them, but you don't send them away, especially the man. You keep collecting the resources in their hands. You keep maximizing the benefits they have. You keep, it's like you're using them. You keep using them. You keep sucking them. You keep sucking them. But you tend to condemn this, their spouses. It is more on the female side than the male side. You tend to separate the family. Talking to religious leaders now, respectfully but firmly, you separate the family, but you keep harnessing the gifts on the one that you tend to retain, in quotes. Probably you retain the husband, you apply your prowess, your professional prowess in your gifting as a religious leader to separate the couple, and but you still look for a way to make them feel like it is the good work that they are doing in the house of God, that is what God is looking upon them and not destroying them. It is what they are doing in the house of God, that is what God is looking at, and is still keeping them alive. But you don't have the prowess to deliver the people that are involved in the witchcraft, in quotes. Because once they make a mistake and it is stretchy and the mistake is lingering and it is attaching different negative occurrences, you don't want to give the woman a chance. You don't want, but when it is your turn and you have a family function, you want the whole world to come and celebrate with you, and you want to be empathized with, you want those people that you have separated from their spouses to save you till they die, because most of them find it difficult to leave such ministries. They feel that it is their service. Most of them see it as simple to pay you. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? And when you look at the percentage of the goodness, you let us assume the miracles God used to perform in their lives, comparing it to how much they save you till they die, it is more or less like, even if it was not you that God would have used any other person, or it could have been a natural, in quotes, coincidence, that thing would have still happened for them miraculously. I just want us to I don't know if you have ever thought of it before, that Sarah made a crazy mistake. Eve made a crazy mistake. Who else again? Rebecca, who was Isaac's wife. They made mistakes. Jacob's wife made a mistake. She was just trying to fulfill the mandate of God. She did not inquire further. Okay, what should I do? What am I supposed to do? They just took sides. Isaac took sides. Rebecca took sides. Or Rachel, I'm trying to that thing could be confusing, but you get what I mean. They just took sides of God's promises and decided to fulfill it their own way. Still, God did not separate them. Can we just see possibility of goodness coming out of chaos? Can we just do better? It's like when somebody detached themselves from a previous ministry, a previous organization, a previous office in every area of life. You tend to focus on building your own concept, your own ministry around the previous person's mistakes, forgetting that you also have your own scripts to act. And by the time you dwell on living right in that your predecessor's mistakes, you thereby create your own mistakes. If the message is not uniformly Jesus Christ, there is error there already. There is always error in every human activity. So you trying to cause more chaos because you feel the person does not have a second chance to redemption, to deliverance, is demonic, is witchcraft on its own. And when the children of the family tend, because environment is stronger than willpower, no matter how much they see it, you would victimize them one way or the other. You will say some things that they will not want, that they don't want to be told. And when they move out to go and look for solution, because if you want to really change, you need to leave the environment first before you now start unwinding, learning and relearning. And you get, it takes time. I hope this makes sense. And I hope you get something from it. That there are better ways to do things than just cutting off some things.